Good morning, Hannes. We have 2 hours to put this gear train into this CAD model. This gear train is the amazing gear train that helped me play tight music. The cool thing, if we zoom down here, I'm powering it with my feet. And there's 2 flywheels, one to the left here and one over here. This flywheel is responsible for lifting this chain, for lifting the weight down here. This whole gear train is going to be used on this machine. Let's do it. I'm gonna start from the power input, which is the pedals. New parts to your gear train. The blue part here now is our gear train, Hannes.
But if I squint, yes.
Yes.
I see it.
I love your positivity. You can't build a machine, but you can build my positivity to build a machine. Add mate connector to instance origin. Yes, please. We hit M to mate this with the origin of the assembly. And now my plan is to right click this and choose edit in context. Because then I can sketch while seeing the entire master assembly. So I know where the legs are and stuff. Previously, when I wanted an offset plane, I would use like the edge of this body here, but I've learned to use mate connector much more extensively. I'm adding this mate connector here, and this mate connector actually has some options that I just recently learned. I can move it, so I can rotate it about the y-axis, 90 degrees, and it flipped direction there. So now I'll do my offset plane from the mate connector instead. We're gonna start with making the pedals here. What's cool with these pedals, Hannes, is that they will tap into the constant source of gravity for powering the machine. So while I step on this, I exert a 80 kilo pressure because of gravity on this pedal. And basically my weight is not shifting a lot during a concert. So the machine will get a constant Martin 80 kilo in. If I lose or gain weight, the music is going to go faster or slower during the world tour.
Okay, so we will have to feed you also in between songs. So we keep the music tight.
It's actually not true because the Huygens and the flyball governor will eat up my excess weight that I've been eating. I'm going to do rough parts now.
Rough?
So this will start our first shaft here. So the pedals connect to this shaft right here. So let's do that. This is where the power will start on the entire machine. And I actually think we're going to add a crank as well, Hannes, a starting crank, because we need another gear to get the big wheels turning in the beginning. So we're going to start, when you power the machine, you actually have a big crank.
Yes, like the original machine.
Yes.
Yes, please, a big crank.
And then the pedaling takes over. The gear train splits into the red and the green part. And the green part is the conveyor belt. The green part is where we should start. Everything over here are the green wheels on that side of the weight. And then everything over here is the music side of the gear train. So now we need to gear this up heavily. But we're so close to the floor, I think I kind of need to start with a chain drive to just get this movement higher up in the air. Like a 1-to-1 gear ratio chain drive. Make this tangent. I'm trying to learn the short commands, which is really fun. And CADing becomes so much faster. T for tangent, Shift O for concentric. 10mm chain. So let's try to be a little space efficient. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the leg here. And I'm also going to shorten the shaft a bit. So here's the power starting in the machine, Hannes. It's cool, huh? Exactly. Here's actually the brilliance of this design. This single shaft here is going to the Huygens there and the conveyor belt part of the gear train there. This is where everything splits. But maybe then we should actually lift this up pretty high. Let's see where I put the Huygens drive. So this wheel should be at the same place as this wheel. They should be connected. T for tangent. Boom. So one problem, Hannes, with these big wheels is that you can't run stuff straight through the wheels. You have to use the outside of a wheel like this. If I want to have space for this wheel, I think I should put this shaft that I'm CADing next as close to the programming wheel as possible. So that shaft can pass between these two wheels. It's like sticking a stick into your bike wheel otherwise.
Yeah, we all seen that meme.
Yeah. That meme is me with my music career. And the stick is the Marble Machine. So that's why I'm going to pull this chain drive all the way here. Let's make this shaft. So, but next issue here, we need to gear up from this shaft. So I need a big wheel here, I just realized. And that wheel can't collide with the programming wheel. So we have to compromise. Perhaps there. And this is going to meet a smaller gear because we're gearing up here. So we're going to make these compound gears here now for the ratchet flywheel. So I made this new shaft, and now I think we're going to CAD the first flywheel here. Hit U for using the geometry of the shaft, and then just making a huge flywheel, as huge as possible. This flywheel that I'm making now is keeping the lifting of this weight smooth, and then this weight will run the large flywheel. So we're evening out the power input in several instances in this gear train. I think I need to add some spokes to these wheels just so that we can start to see the wheels through each other. I always start with a 60-degree midline of the spokes. I make those construction lines, and then I just make a simple cutout. We're gonna have some center point arcs. I just draw them wherever, and then I hit I to make these points coincident. And then we need to decide spoke width, and that's gonna be twice this size. So let's do 15. We're gonna have thin spokes, looks more skeleton clock. And this line is gonna be offset from this line, which is important. So if we change size of the wheel, the spokes are kind of good. So we're gonna extrude that, and then we're going to circular pattern that. This one, that one, 6 times. We have to switch to add to make it one wheel.
I have some feedback hot from the presses, Martin.
All right.
From yesterday's video.
Yeah.
It takes a big man to admit when you're wrong.
Oh no.
and I sometimes I really want you to remove stuff from the machine to make it simpler.
Yeah.
The audience is demanding that the shaker module needs to come back on the machine.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
A lot of people are on my side with a lot of things like simplify, but the shaker module, I went over a line there, I think. So I admit defeat. The shaker module needs to come back. I hear you, audience, throwing it in there now when you're doing all the shafts and stuff. Remember, the shaker module needs to go somewhere.
That makes me very, very happy. And it's very good you told me now, because we need a huge wheel here in the middle of the machine for the shaker and tambourine. The thing for me with the shaker module is that it's a completely independent system, that it's not really dependent on everything else. It makes it kind of stable.
Yeah, and it doesn't need any marbles at all.
It doesn't need marbles, and it's a super fun movement. And also the switching on and off, so I can pull a lever and it just stops. And when it stops, it doesn't take any power at all. And I pull a lever and it engages and it starts. I'm very happy to hear this feedback. So before, when I was in these menus, I always went with the mouse over axis to pattern, then choosing. Now I just hit tab and then I choose an axis. I'm getting faster. 6 instances and add. Shift P to hide everything and edit appearance so we can do some plywood color of these wheels. So I don't think there should be anything else on this shaft. Now if you check here, there's nothing else going to this wheel. I'm going to make the starting crank, and it should be pretty big. It's going to be still when you're not cranking it, with some one-way bearing ratchet idea, so it doesn't eat energy from the gear train in any way. I for coincident, boom, boom. This is going to have a mechanical advantage compared to the pedals. With the crank, you can input much more power into the system in the beginning, but later when the music is running, the crank will be too fast to use. It's also going to look beautiful. Start the machine with a crank. It feels so good.
Yes, thumbs up.
Tab, axis of pattern, boom. Tab again, 6, boom. I'm getting faster. I've added a handle here to make it obvious that this is a crank. Then we need to connect this mechanically to the gear train. So we need a shaft for that. T for tangent. So this wheel will be ratcheted to this shaft somehow, which means that we can add power in one direction, but the crank will actually be still when the machine is moving, if the operator isn't turning it. All right, so far we've done this, which is actually corresponding to all the green stuff in this image, minus we have to add this connection. We have to power the conveyor belt. All right, so the conveyor belt is down here. Now it's a question, where in this gear train do I want to connect the belt? I think I'm going to just connect it through this shaft for now to represent the connection needed. It's not really a big thought I have. It's more that let's just put it somewhere there. And it depends on what speed we want the conveyor. If we want it slower, we go from this shaft. If we want it faster, we go from this. If we want it really fast, we go from this. And then we can also change the gearing to fine tune. We're going to see the power of the in-context sketching. So now I wonder, can I use geometry? Of course I can. I hit U and now I'm using the position of this shaft of the conveyor belt. So let's have another pulley there. Let's hit E and make them equal sized. And then we only have to constrain one of the sizes. Let's say 200. And then we want a nice belt around this. T for tangent. So let's make a belt. So now I'm pulling this rotary power all the way to the conveyor down here. Okay, Hannes, now we're completely done with the green part of the gear train. So we're gonna go over to the red part. To understand the red part of the drivetrain, you can really focus on that this weight down here is pulling on this red wheel here. That's the whole power input for the second part of the gear train. The greens are lifting this weight and lifting the marbles. That's all it does. And then this weight is pulling on this red wheel, which is creating the whole movement for the rest of the machine. So let's go to this red wheel in our CAD. Let's make a sketch on this plane. I'm going to use this geometry and we're going to make a shaft. I'm going to start a compound gear train. I don't have a lot of space here for the programming wheel, so let's do something like that. Okay, running into my first space issues here. I want this wheel to be huge and there's no space. Okay, Hannes, how far out to the side do we want the Huygens drive? Because it's kind of nice with the weight to actually see them, but it would make sense to move the Huygens drive into the middle of the machine for gears. But should I fight a bit for having the Huygens out here, or
collecting the weight in the middle of the machine seems right.
You're dead on, Hannes. That's an engineering. Like if we want a big base and this weight, all right. What I was running into is that this gear is touching this shaft. See, it's space limited by this shaft. But if we instead put this gear on the outside, then it can go over this shaft, and that's going to be super beautiful. And the weight in the middle of the machine makes so much sense, keeping everything stable. Yeah, there's going to be a huge frame around this. Okay, so we're going to go to this slider mate that we did. Can I just... Oh, I can just pull. Okay, here's the big moment, Hannes.
Yes.
Like just inside the leg, something like that. So now this first gear from the Huygens can be huge.
Okay. Now I get why you were excited.
Yeah, because that big flywheel, it needs some friend gear. Do you see? Oh, it's so beautiful. It is beautiful. Maybe it's a little big, too big. Never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
It feels like this is a machine I want to build. I haven't felt that, like with the Renaissance machine, this is going to be a Renaissance machine, by the way. I saw people asking like, but what about the Renaissance machine? Yeah, this is the Renaissance machine. It's just like, I was never ready to build any of the other like big footprint sketches that we made. And it starts to feel that I'm ready to build this one. How much time do we have left, Hannes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Let's speed CAD this. And now we're connecting with the huge wheel here. Look at this gear here. Boom. We're now powering the huge wheel for the first time. I'm a bit scared there's not enough gears though. Check. Boom. Do you feel though how much more separated we're working? Like we started with the instruments and marbles, which is like completely independent section. And now we're like, what is going to power the instruments and the marbles?
I haven't even started on the frame yet.
No.
That is good.
I think so.
Solve everything else first.
Yeah, frame can just...
Don't box ourselves in too early.
Exactly. Shift P to hide the sketches. Let's just make these wood colored. How much time do we have?
I would say 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
What's left?
We need the flyball governor, and we need the gearbox and the connection to the programming wheel. So flyball governor, I think it's a real like vanity thing.
This seems like a shaft going really wrong.
Yeah, this is from the context. So this is not
Okay,
actually
yeah.
here.
Okay.
This it's me who doesn't understand contexts. So it's
What's new?
thank you. It's actually not there. I imported
Weird.
some bad stuff. Have to ask Derek why there is a shaft there. Okay, so let's just speed CAD a flyball governor here. We're gonna revolve this. So here's a shaft for the flyball governor bearing. And then we have a seat, I guess. Another seat. We have the fly balls. Gonna make them big. And we have the connectors. I want to add a wheel, a large wheel here to the fly ball, which is going to drive it. And now we're going to revolve this whole thing. Shift W for revolve, or as I think of it, as wrap. So there's a shaft. Hit tab for revolve axis, and we have some revolves. We're actually going to include this and this as well. I'm going to revolve the fly ball. Tab for axis, boom. And now we're going to circular pattern the fly ball. I think we're going to have 3 instances. Shift for axis. So beautiful.
Wow.
It's cool, right?
That was fast. I'm impressed.
It's going into the programming wheel. That is one position. In a way, I wanted it on the top of everything.
Almost like a little chimney.
Yeah. What about moving it here? Nah.
Nah, it's getting dangerously close of disrupting the music.
Yeah. I think the flyball governor is among the most beautiful stuff. And it's going to spin in a completely different way. So, all right. We'll keep it there for now. I do want to add the spokes to these wheels. It feels so much more fun.
Okay, you got 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
While Martin is working away on the powertrain for the Marble Machine, I would like to thank the powertrain for this entire endeavor. The backers, the Wintergatan backers who supports us on our marbles adventures towards a finished Marble Machine. You guys are the best.
Thanks to everyone backing. We are actually 3 people now, which means I can stay focused on building. And we also dare to make the videos we need to make. I haven't checked the last 6 videos, how many views they got even. We're not making these videos for the mainstream audience anymore because that bogs my process down. We're making these videos for everyone who actually cares for real. So thank you so much for that. What? Look at this machine!
I mean,
it's beautiful.
Awesome job today, Martin.
Thank you. Thanks for being here with me and body doubling me. It's really helping so much. We're missing the gearbox and the connection to the programming wheel. But I got everything else in. This isn't really based in reality. It's just laying it out. But as this is my method, like as soon as I lay it out like this, I start to realize, oh, this shaft is in the way. Oh, perhaps the Huygens need to go into the machine. Like it helps me make these big decisions without going into details on how many teeth should this gear have and stuff like that.
Now we're just cladding away.
We have, yeah, this is clad. Hannes calls this clad, which is working with clay in CAD. I have a handle here.
I love that. That was a big, good decision today.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling to have a crank. Thanks for being here. We're going to make the videos more and more about me just working and executing. We hope you like it. Thanks for being here, Hannes, as well. You're awesome.
Of course, thank you. Next time, let's finish up the powertrain.
Yep, absolutely. See you. Ciao.
Ciao.